What's up? Welcome to the Odyssey and welcome to my sketch scheme art series. This is part 2 of the Masked Singer drawing. So this one includes 3 masked singers of the series that has been so fun to react to on my channel. It's a really great series where all these singers get together and perform very wonderful songs dressed up in these really interesting and unique costumes, as you see here. If you haven't seen part 1, do be sure to check it out, and the link will be in the description below. And just check out my playlist and journals. A lot of fun stuff on there. So I do apologize from the get-go here too. It for some reason started off at the mask, the crow mask, instead of starting off with the pancake mask. For some reason I wasn't able to recover that part of the video, but it was only about a minute lost, so it wasn't too bad. So usually what I did with this, I started with a thicker ink outline, and then I did it with the inside with a thinner line. So it was just a regular what's it called, a Bic, I think it's a Bic pen. And then I did a regular, let me rephrase, I'll just say regular gel pen. And then I did a 0.5, I think, either 0.5 or a 0.2 for the inside of the lines here. Now, for those who may have seen it already, this was my first, well, let me rephrase it. I'm tongue twisters galore this video, right? But that's me in general. For what I meant to say was, for those who don't know, these 3 performers were the first masked singers I saw. And honestly, they were some of my favorite ones. There was the pancake mask, the durian mask, and the black crow. So I figured, why not put them all together in kind of a just mashup picture. And it was supposed to be a little bit different from this, but I figured I was still pretty happy with it. So finding a couple references for the pancake mask was a little difficult, where I could get the details with the right angles that I needed, but it wasn't too bad. I didn't really need too much. I just needed the top torso, and it's really cool how each of their costumes are so unique. That's what's so awesome about this series, and makes me super excited every time I get a new chance to watch another one. I think honestly I enjoyed drawing the durian mask here most, and I think I may come back for this video for a part 3 to add some paint in the background, because I've been meaning to do some more watercolor pieces, but I have such a list of drawing projects that I need to do. Most of them don't include that, and it'd be kind of hard to include the watercolor in most of them because of the type of paper you need. But this is the sketchbook I have where it's multimedia, so I can have a ton of different types of things in there. But the only thing is, my only complaint with this sketchbook is that the Sharpie still kind of bleeds through. Not too much, but for instance, if you do Sharpie on one side, don't use the other side, because it'll mess up the another picture. I found this out the hard way. I was actually finished inking this picture, and I did some rough character design sketches on the other side, and fortunately I didn't really need them that badly. They were just rough sketches for me to get a grasp of how I wanted to design these characters. And I checked that and I thought, wow, I'm really glad I didn't need that. And there's another video I'm going to do later on that would actually talk more about good ways to preserve some of the pencil sketches, especially when you use the ringed sketchbooks. You want to use a type of spray that preserves the lead in the paper so it doesn't rub off and rub away and eventually fade. So one, for instance, was getting like the Krylon brand matte finish spray. But the only bad thing is, I don't know if I just didn't spray it far away enough, or maybe it's the type of paper I'm using. That smell, that smell of what all is comprised in the Krylon spray stays in there. But I'll go into a more in-depth video about that at a later point, because I haven't really tried it with this sketchbook yet, because this is obviously thicker pages, so maybe it won't retain the smell as much as opposed to the thinner one. Although maybe it should be backwards now that I think about it. I don't know, I could be wrong. I actually always wanted a pinstripe suit like that. Not quite with the spikes though, but I think if I was to ever cosplay as a masked singer, I'd probably go as either the samurai or Dorian. And I think maybe even the pancake mask. If you guys ever wanted to dress up as a costume singer, who would you dress up as and why? Question of the day there. I wanted to do a different kind of color scheme for this one too, kind of reminiscent of the SpongeBob OP2 anime fan art that I did. So you'll be seeing that a little bit later on here too. And the socks, I loved inking those socks. It was so fun. I love socks like that, especially, I mean, I am the type of person who loves the vibrant, just multi-patterned colored socks. I don't know why. I just recently got into them a couple years ago. I didn't always think that. I was just like, okay, just give me black socks and gray socks and I'm good. No white, because white clothing and me don't get along. I stain them so easily and it's so annoying to clean them. I also have a habit of just jumping from different points to points. Instead of going in a certain pattern, I kind of just jump wherever, because it kind of keeps my interest in doing the picture. I have a bad habit of not finishing a lot of my pictures, so doing these videos for YouTube actually helps me do them and helps me be a little bit more unique, I should say, with my pictures than I may have been in the past. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to actually add in the titles of the performances that I saw these singers do, at least for the first song that I had been exposed to them with. And I wanted to add a little bit of cool styling to it, to the, what is it? It's not font, it's like typeface, I guess, technically, but at the same time, I'm not on the computer with this, so I don't think it's really called a typeface, because apparently font isn't the right word. It's supposed to be like labeled as typeface for some reason, but I don't know. I think if you're just writing it, it's just a form of calligraphy to a degree. And that was my first huge mistake. I messed up the mic, so I forgot to blend it in. Well, not blend it, I forgot to outline it before putting all that Sharpie in there. And the crow mask, like I said before, this was where in hindsight, I had no idea what was going to happen as soon as I started inking his colors below. So now I start using the colored pencils. I actually have a bunch of them, and I figure I gotta put those to use too. So I decided to use them instead of mostly trying to paint this one again, because I need to do more practicing with my painting on less complex pictures and get more accustomed to doing the fine lining, so I don't mess up the lines that I may have inked or penciled. Because I know a lot of people, sometimes people just paint without doing any of this stuff, because honestly it's easier. You don't have to worry about the paint going over or messing up the original lines, and you lose that original detail you might have had with the pencil, which makes total sense. I kind of want to get to the point where I can do both, but I really was getting into doing the lines, and I think that's a really cool art style. Honestly, if I had the chance to ever animate a cartoon, or if I actually had the chance to do that with a comic book, some kind of graphic novel and journal, this is the style I'd want to do for my art. I'd have it like mainly all white and just have the outlines of the characters, the different colors that they may be, but not everything would be colored, just certain things. It'd be like a lot of things would be kind of black, but then you have all these colors that would shine through it too. I think it'd be a little easier with the coloring department, or actually would it be, because you have to do all the shading and stuff. I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool, a little different than what you usually see, not really something you've ever really seen much before in other media. So I thought that'd be really fun and kind of eye candy too when you think about it. I think I did this without a pencil sharpener too, because I keep forgetting to bring my pencil sharpener when I do these pieces. I'm actually thinking about adding a webcam, a part of me in the videos, but at the same time, I don't really feel like it's necessary. But if you guys feel like you want to see that in the future for future videos, just like me in the background, not in the background, but like a little window of me in one of the corners, that'd be then sure. So for the crow, I had to be a little different and make sure I didn't fill out the whole thing. I wanted to keep the detail of his arm, the feathers, and show that he's not just all black, but he has more of a form to him, more detail than what you may be able to see naturally. So I was trying to plan that a little carefully as I did that, because I'm not that good with details with the Sharpie marker. And at this point, I kind of feel like I could have colored Pancake Mask a little more, but at the same time, I thought it was fine. I wanted to just keep it simple and kind of just leave it at that. So by the time I did this, and like I said before, by the time I fully Sharpied up the crow mask, that didn't sound right, but by the time I fully colored in the crow mask and turned the page over, I was so sad. I'm actually thinking about experimenting more with the other types of sketchbooks in the future, but I finally decided to finish off the crow mask with doing a thick outline of the body to kind of emphasize the darkness of his costume, and just to fit it, just make it look more clean anyway too. But I'm thinking about delving into non-ring sketchbooks again and try those out, because I know that they have they're least likely to have the smudging and the issues that ring sketchbooks do. But at the same time, I've gotten so accustomed to using ring sketchbooks, I kind of don't want to go back. But there you have it. There is the finished piece of the Mask 2 on the road. Masked Singers. If you enjoyed this video, do be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know of any future videos you'd like to see from in the future. The other requests I've gotten, will be keeping up with those shortly, with my original characters that was requested, some more fan art and other things like that. So until the wind turns our sails yet again, I will see you all in the next Odyssey. Later days.